you have to fail multiple times to find the right way. But once you find that right flow, and you're gonna be more successful.
Resilience is kind of understanding that like bad things will happen and that like you can turn those into opportunities to grow and become a stronger person.
When I was young, I was one of the only women in climbing. I was the kid at the gym climbing with all the older dudes. I think for me it was sort of like a proving ground.
I've had those struggles too, that people have been upset that there's been a black person in their gym. And I'm resilient because I don't let it stop me.
Adversity teaches you to fail properly. And if you're not willing to accept failure, then you're never gonna learn to grow.
Or whatever you can throw at me, like, you're not gonna take me away from what I wanna do. You can't stop me.
Whether you're alpine climbing or cragging after work, Gnarly Nutrition is here to help you push your possible.
Travel doesn't have to be this super exotic international thing. It can really be out of your own backyard. The high desert is so three-dimensional and it's so big that there is no way you could ever see everything here. The orange and brown and yellow is just so endless. Whether it's something I've done before or something brand new, there's so much to explore just right here.
So yeah, we've been testing out the new catch and hold system from the TruBlue IQ Plus. And with the IQ Plus, you know, you're just able to stop there, rest, shake out, try to figure out the moves, and yeah, really excited to have this new device in our gym. It's going to just really help us to continue growing the sport.
Since 1966, we have viewed walls not as obstacles, but as opportunities. From the big walls of Yosemite to the high peaks of the Himalaya, we were searching for a personal kind of freedom. In this pursuit, we found a community, strengthened by different stories, experiences, and perspectives. This community has shown us that the only way forward is together.
good evening, and welcome to the USA Climbing 2023 National Team Trials presented by YETI. We are in Austin, Texas, where the best climbers in the country have gathered to compete for a spot on the speed team tonight. USA Climbing is excited to be at the beautiful brand new Mesa Rim Climbing Center in Austin, Texas. If you're in the area, y'all should come check it out. I'm Megan Martin here with three-time Canadian national champion Allison Best. We are so excited to be here. Thank you for joining me.
Can't wait to be here. We've got another great round of climbing coming up.
The speed final tonight, so exciting. There is so much at stake for these speed athletes. So speed is now a separate discipline from boulder and lead. And so these athletes are here trying to make the national team, and this is the team trial championships that will decide that. So the top performers from team trials and nationals will be selected to the national team. There have already been 3 climbers pre-selected: Sam Watson, John Brosler, and Emma Hunt. And these 5 athletes, 5 men, 5 women, will try to get on the team so they can compete in the World Cups this season.
As for our format, pretty similar to what you'll be used to. We have 16 men and 8 women competing, so we'll be starting with the round of 16 for the men and then moving in that round of 8 for the women. It is an elimination bracket format, the highest seed paired with the lowest seed, and will be a head-to-head competition with the winner advancing to the following race.
Always a really exciting event with that knockout round. A quick look at the crowd here to support the speed athletes. Always so exciting. And like we were saying earlier, it's not just based on this competition, on the results from national championships. So you're getting a look at the men's overall results going into this competition. So they earn those points at nationals. They're looking to add to the points here. The top 5 will make the national team. And then for the women, they have the same situation, although there are only 8 women competing, so a little more wiggle room there if they're already high up in the bracket. So we'll have to see. Here's a look at those women overall standings. We'll have to note that Katie Bone unfortunately suffered a knee injury in the boulder competition earlier this week, so she will not be competing, so we'll miss her. Shout out to Katie. We hope you heal up quickly. But again, these athletes are trying to do well enough here to add to that score from nationals and get into the top 5 and make the team.
And luckily for us, Megan, we will have some special guest speed athletes because of all these 3 disciplines. Speed is the one that you and I, Megan, have the least competition experience in, so we're really lucky to have some of those pre-qualified athletes for the speed event here in the booth to be able to give us a little bit more in-depth insight into this discipline.
Exactly. We're really excited to actually welcome Sam Watson to the booth. First time in the booth. He's done many an interview, but really excited to have him in the booth here. Welcome to the booth, Sam.
Hello, hello.
Can we go ahead and talk? I think we can hear you. No? Oh, there we go.
Great. Okay, sorry. We have some technical difficulties.
It's all good. We got you now. Welcome, Sam. How excited are you to watch this event? You're usually in it. You're the national champion from earlier, or actually last year, 2022, November. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm really excited to be on this end of the production. It's nice to see all my friends and all the other competitors with the insight of I know how they've been working super hard, and they've been really working on their competition consistency, and just knowing that they're going to be throwing down today.
Exactly. Did you get on the wall at all since you've been here?
So I did the qualification round because I was trying to go for a national record, but just wasn't quite there. I've heard some complaints about it being a little too slippery, but sometimes you just have to see what it'll come down to in the competition. Sometimes that's just the manifestation of nerves, or it could just be the wall isn't great. But
Totally. So we're getting our first look at the first 2 speed climbers in this round. On the left, you have Merritt Ernsberger coming in with that number 1 seed, going against number 16, Jack Yamato. So really exciting. Now, as we go through the round, some of the races will get closer and closer, having those numbers in their ranking being closer. But let's see what these athletes have on their first run.
All right, let's go.
Really nice clean start. Little bobble there from Merritt, and then one from Jack. Looks like Merritt's going to take it away. 6.53.
Yeah, so a lot of the athletes will train to recover like that. If they had a little stumble, it breaks down a competitor's ability to be in a situation where if you have a slip, does that turn into a complete fall, or does that just manifest as a little stumble, sort of a micro slip?
I love that you mentioned that. That's something that I always love seeing. You see the really seasoned speed athletes be really good at recovering in those little moments of bobbles, and I feel like it's really cool to have that experience and be able to recover so smoothly. And Merritt's definitely an athlete who has a lot of experience, and you obviously have a lot of experience with Merritt.
Yeah, so he's been my coach for a while now. Yeah. Out of Dallas, there's a lot of, I think, maybe 4 or 5 athletes from Dallas in this competition, and we're all just sort of feeding off each other and getting the energy and psych off of each other.
Totally. We're just getting flashes of that bracket. Remember, this is that round of 16, so all 16 men will run, and when they win their race, they'll move on to the next round into that quarter-final round. Up next, we have Richard Lee and Joey Kim. A little slow start on the left, but recovery there from Richard. Ooh, nice. 6-2. Very close. Again, yeah.
It manifests as a microslip, and it's all about like, on the fly sort of reaction time, knowing my body is now in this position, and so I need to do that.
Sam, can you explain a little bit? You're obviously here. Emma Hunt is also obviously here. You both ran in qualifiers. Can you just explain a little bit why you're not able to participate in this bracket this evening?
So myself and Emma both were pre-qualified athletes, meaning that we placed top 10 in the world rank. So there's a series of competitions, the World Cup circuit, where it's 7 events and you get a score from each one. And everyone in the world is ranked for top 10. Last year I placed 5th, so I get an automatic invite to all the events next year. So that means there's some extra spots on the U.S. team for both men and women. And we're going to have a 7-person team and a 6-person team for women. So I'm super excited to have more opportunities for everyone else.
And you don't want to screw up the bracket, is why you're not competing today.
Exactly, because that bracket's really important. So on the left, we have Evan Homan and Benjamin Shinto on the right, getting ready to run their races. And I feel like a lot of the speed athletes, you all know each other pretty well, correct?
Yeah.
Have a lot of experience racing, not only in the elite side of competition, but also a lot of you coming from the youth side pretty early on.
Yeah, as you can see, a lot of these guys are like 16 years old, 15 years old. It's the first year.
Ready?
Oh, looks like a false start on the right side.
Maybe.
Or the left side? Let's see. Left side. Left side.
So that was right side.
Right side.
Yeah, right side.
Okay, that was confusing because he kept going. I was like, wait a minute, what's happening?
Yeah, so if the time is under 0.1, then it is considered a technical false start. And so if he gets off the ground before that, it's in theory about human reaction time. It's impossible it's an anticipation kind of thing. And then it's an automatic dequalification, and then their opponent will move on in the bracket.
Exactly. So Evan Homan is the one who is moving on to the next round. Benjamin Shinto will end up in the lowest rank of this round.
Still great job for him, because that can still lead to points and maybe a World Cup start later on.
So on the left we have Darren Skolnick and Jonah Siegerman on the right.
Darren, a bit of a veteran. Jonah, only 15 years old, I think, from the...
Correct. Very correct. Though, you know, Darren, a veteran at the young age of 20.
20 years young.
Exactly. Jonah getting into the zone on the right side. Now, the athletes that are on the left side, they are the higher qualified athlete. So, Darren qualifying in 5th place and Jonah qualifying in 12th place, about to race.
Ready?
Clean starts from both of them. Let's see, Darren off to a pretty early lead as the higher seed. Nicely done.
Good, smooth job. It's a great time from Jonah as well. I think that might be a personal record for him.
Oh, awesome. It's always nice if you can get a PR in any competition, right?
Yeah, especially if you're in that right side lane, you're really just going all out, knowing that it's going to be, you know, they have to slip, or it's really honorable to see them do that.
Another quick look at Darren's run. Really efficient on every move. Really nice to have him have a really good, clean first run. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the competition, don't you think?
Yeah, and it's just like in bouldering, topping your first route, where you get that extra level of confidence of, I've been on this wall before. I know what it's like to run that good time, and I have that extra level of confidence.
Another look at our bracket. You're seeing the men that have already done their first runs, already set up for that next round that we'll see later. But coming out, we have Noah Bracci, a very familiar face, along with Skylar Manjaring.
Another young versus old battle.
And old being very relative in that sense, because...
I'm sorry, I don't mean to...
Oh, no. I'm not taking offense to that at all. 22 years young for Noah Bracci.
When somebody false starts, what's the mentality for you if you're coming out after that? Are you more aware of it? Are you more sensitive to it? Are all these other athletes thinking about false starts now that there's been one?
I think every athlete sort of has their own perspective on it because they process nerves in different ways.
Clean start from both of them. Noah really taking it away here, just needs to keep it together. Wow, 5'8", 9". Yeah.
Yeah, Noah got multiple medals, a silver medal at the World Championship in 2021 and a silver medal at Salt Lake City last year, 2022. So really a seasoned competitor.
Yeah, really close to his PR. I believe it's 5.73 seconds or somewhere around there in competition. So hovering around the fastest he's been. It might be faster than that in competition as well.
I think he ran a 5.5 at the Chamonix World Cup.
Okay, so a little farther off, but still, 5's always really good on every run, especially for him for his first run. I'm sure he'll be trying to take a crack at the record tonight.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Goal number 2.
U.S. national record is 5.204 by Mr. John Brosler. I've been really sort of trying to take that away from him, but it's been a battle.
It's been fun to watch you try to take it away from him. You got really close at nationals.
I did get really close around a 5.29 both at this comp and at nationals. So we'll see going into the World Cup season. I think it's a motivator for both of us.
Up next, we have Micah Feller on the left, Aiden Goddard on the right. Both men just getting set up, so when the speed athletes come out, they can set up first, make sure that that pad is in the right position, then they go back to the square where they get clipped in, and then they get ready to run. Everyone kind of has their own unique way of doing it, and Sam, you do some pretty unique things yourself.
I do. I kick the wall. It's quite fun. Yeah, Aiden actually came out of the collegiate circuit as to the youth, which most people do.
Ready?
Nice clean start from both of them. Aiden looking like he might have it, but oh wow, so close. He does have it.
4,000ths of a second.
That was amazing.
Great run from both of the competitors, really pulling it together. Yeah, so Aiden, he's from the University of Utah, and we met this year, and he's a really nice guy, very smart dude. He competed in Innsbruck at the Collegiate National Championship and really just fell in love with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like you said, coming through collegiate rather than through youth, not a common way of getting into the elite, but really cool to see him have a different route to getting here, and clearly he's doing great. So another look at that bracket, you see where people will be racing in the next round, but we still have a few more athletes to race in this first round of 16. Up next, we'll have Zach Hammer and Gray Gorbachev.
Both from Planet Rock up in Michigan.
So people who race together quite often, I'm sure.
Yeah, we even have that with Dallas. We had, I think, 2 Dallas matchups where it would just be like every day in practice I'll go against Merritt or Richard. It'll be super nice.
Does that make you feel more comfortable when you're racing them in competition, just knowing that you've raced together so many times?
Well, of course, but it also makes them more comfortable, so it creates a higher level of competition.
Awesome. So quick look at Zach Hammer on the left, and we have Gray Gorbachev on the right. Both of them just centering themselves before they approach the wall.
At your mark.
Little mishap, not Tim Kang.
Yep, Gray Gorbachev on the right, Zach Hammer on the left.
Ready?
Clean starts from both of them. Zach off to a really early lead, just needs to keep it together, and it looks like he's going to. Wow, really nice run for Zach Hammer.
Great job, I think, past the time of the night.
Also really close to his personal best, I believe, is 5'7" from nationals this past year. And when I say personal best, I mean in competition, because that's where it actually counts. So consistency is so key in this discipline too, right? Sam?
Yeah, so what I said before about turning a slip into a sort of micro slip, a little mishap, and also just knowing what it's like to be in that mentality of I can run my best run right now. And I think Zach does a really, really good job at doing that himself.
Here we have the busiest man of the day coming out on the left.
The busiest man of the day. Quinn Francia holding it down for the 3-discipline athlete. So close to finals in Boulder and lead earlier. But here to make a name for himself, or not make a name for himself, but to continue his competition, Quinn Francia on the left. And we have Joshua Carbine on the right. Quinn, a very experienced athlete. And yeah, still doing those 3 disciplines. It'll be really exciting. I mean, nationals, he gave us some of the most exciting runs. Talking about those slip recovery moments, he had won almost every run.
Yeah, so Quinn actually doesn't have a speed wall in Seattle. And so
Ready?
I think it gives him a little advantage.
Clean start. Quinn kind of pulling ahead now of Joshua. But now they're back neck to neck. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Good run from Joshua Carbine running or catching up at the end. Quinn kind of lost it there, not able to recover fast enough on those slips.
Yeah, what I was saying about Quinn's little advantage from not having a wall is that when you make mistakes so many times in practice, it can sort of get in your head sometimes. I think he's really good at sort of composing himself for that. But Josh, he did a great job. Another Salt Lake local that got into it pretty recently. I know he recovered from a pretty tough injury, I think a shoulder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's really pushed himself in this past year, and I'm glad to be sharing maybe a team with him.
That's awesome. Great runs from all the men. And now we'll be moving on to the women's quarterfinal. Good look at our running order. Sophia Curcio, Liberty Reynolds, Kayla Cordwick, Sydney Williams, Callie Close, Maddie Morris, Piper Kelly, and Michaela Patajo.
I was just going to say it's been really cool in Salt Lake because there is those 2 speed walls there. To see speed also kicking off as more of a recreational sport. There's been like after work speed sessions with Albert Oak, who competed in qualifiers here at this event. So it's been cool to see it picking up speed and literally.
I see what y'all did there.
And growing as a sport.
Yeah, it's really sort of to try and branch off. I mean, there's a couple of like people like Quinn that do all 3, but it's mostly people here are only speed climbers, and it's really nice to see it sort of blossoming into its own little sport.
So our athletes getting ready. Sophia Curcio on the left.
At your mark.
And Liberty Reynolds on the right. Both athletes just taking a second to center themselves before stepping up for their runs. Liberty had an unfortunate slip at Nationals. Didn't exactly place where she wanted to, but luckily had some fast times earlier that weekend.
Yeah, so we'll see. A little slip there.
Looks like
really still trying to fight for it.
Slow down for Sophia, but not slow enough for Liberty to catch her.
Yeah.
Great recovery by both women.
And that recovery really does matter because we're doing also the time rank system where they're giving points to the higher ranked times. So it really does help if they want to try and get those World Cup starts. Liberty had a great job with that recovery. I know she's really been focusing on her consistency and focusing, even when you're in that situation, just turning it into that microslip.
Exactly, and Sophia was clean up until that last third, basically, but only a minor like pause, so she was able to fix that pretty quickly. Up next, we have Kayla Cordwick and Sydney Williams.
Yeah, Kayla, another athlete from Dallas. First year on the elite scene, doing super well, competed at Youth Worlds this last year. Hometown.
Which were in Dallas.
Yeah, it was a great time to host the world.
Yeah, that must have been really fun.
Yeah, of course, with like the sort of heightened camaraderie of youth, where it's maybe a little bit less competitive, where you're like trading jerseys and all that. I saw earlier Ben Hanna was wearing a Slovenia shirt.
Ready?
Nice start from both women. A little pause there. Oh, Kayla looking like she's going to take it away here. I was a little nervous about how low she was on the panel, but looks like it was okay. Sometimes we see that happen where people undershoot that line break of the panel, which is super important in order to stop the clock.
Yeah, so we actually switched time systems. This is a pressure-based time system, rather than the laser-based time system. It's the one that they use at the World Cups, and Music Farming thought it was important to use the same system as that, so we can prepare them the best for the season.
I agree with that decision.
Sam, we saw Kayla wearing those 499 Sportiva shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Do we think, is this the year?
Yes, because it'll be me.
There you go.
Yes, we like to hear that confidence, Sam.
You gotta have that confidence. Yeah, so I've gotten pretty close to
Sam.
it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go by Sub-5 Sam.
Sub-5 Sam.
Was my little play on words there. I just think a little fun little way to continue the joke.
I do love it. First look at Callie Close, your speed national champion from 2022. That happened in November.
And 2021,
and
back to back.
And 2021.
I think she won team trials as well, so
she
a very dominant athlete on the domestic speed scene.
I do kind of, I mean, obviously she's trying to get on the team, but I do kind of think a PR is really what she's looking at. I mean, what she really has on her mind lately, because she has gotten all those titles. Maddie Morris on the right.
Ready?
Nice clean start from both of them. Callie off to a pretty early lead. Maddie not giving up though. Oh, a little bobble there. Nice.
Good job from Callie. Yeah, she is really close to that competition sub-8 time. She's done it a couple times in practice, and I know she's really trying to push for that. Sometimes it's worse to push for that because then you psych yourself up. But she's already a super consistent competitor, as you can see by her numerous titles. But just really pushing for that really good time.
Yeah, and she got so close to sub-7 at nationals in November of 2022. So I know that was a little bittersweet for her. She was very excited to be national champion again, but she's really wanting to get sub-8.
Yeah, and her from Atlanta, her and Emma Hunt, super good friends, trying to encourage each other as well.
Up next on the left, Piper Kelly, and on the right, Michaela Patajo. Piper, another familiar face. She was 3rd at team trials in 2022 in speed, and 2nd at nationals just in November. Oh, I have not seen that harness, I don't think.
I think it's maybe a new edition of the PETZL.
Looks light, looks speedy.
Yeah, it looks speedy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a gear debate on what shoes are the best and what harness is the best for speed.
Sounds right. I feel like, you know.
It's such a new sport that, you know, a lot of the companies are trying to put their foot in.
Ready?
Nice start from both of them. Different betas at the beginning. Piper off to an early lead, but Michaela getting back into that race. It's going to be Piper moving on into that semifinal. Yeah, very smooth for Piper. Nice to see her have a really great run. And with that, we are done with the quarterfinal for the women, and we'll be moving back into the men, on to the men for their quarterfinal next. Nice, really clean run from Piper Kelly, and we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more speed excitement.
You have to fail multiple times to find the right way. But once you find that right flow, and you're gonna be more successful.
Resilience is kind of understanding that like bad things will happen and that like you can turn those into opportunities to grow and become a stronger person.
When I was young, I was one of the only women in climbing. I was the kid at the gym climbing with all the older dudes. I think for me, it was sort of like a proving ground.
I've had those struggles too, that people have been upset that there's been a black person in their gym. And I'm resilient because I don't let it stop me.
Adversity teaches you to fail properly. And if you're not willing to accept failure, then you're never going to learn to grow.
Bro, whatever you can throw at me, like, you're not going to take me away from what I want to do. You can't stop me.
welcome back to the speed final at the USA Climbing 2023 National Team Trials. We're so excited to be going into the men's quarterfinal now. Merritt Ernsberger stepping out. He'll be racing against Richard Lee.
Sort of student versus master out of Dallas race.
We love to see those. I feel like Merritt is such a good sport with that. I feel like it never phases him, and I think it motivates him to kind of, you know, keep beating you guys if he can.
Well, not me. But
you heard
sorry,
it here
that
first.
was a little. That was a little quick little shade. It's all done in love.
I like the confidence. Richard Lee trying to center himself here before approaching the wall. Remember, the higher seed comes in on the left,
at your mark,
and that lower seed comes in on the right.
Yeah, Richard really just trying to compose himself. You know, I mean, once again, you said they've raced each other in practice so many times.
Ready?
Nice clean start. Really explosive from Richard, but it looks like Merritt's coming in. Wow. Merritt. Yeah, really great run. And Merritt won team trials in speed in 2021, so it's been a little bit, so it'd be nice to see him on top of that podium again. 5.7, getting pretty close to that 5.2, that record set by John Brosler. Still a little bit off, but many more rounds to come. I do believe that Merritt has a PR or personal best of 5.6-ish, so.
Yeah, so he actually ran a 5.3 in practice.
Ooh.
He did, yeah. So we were doing runs together, and I was super excited for him going into this comp. He's like, I'm making a goal of mine. I want to be competing with you and John when it comes to World Cup season. So trying to get those sub 5.2 times, sub 5.1 times, really pushing for that.
Sam Watson coming in with all the tea. I love it.
I know all of the speed climbing drama.
Up next, we have Evan Homan on the left and Darren Skolnick on the right, getting ready to do their quarterfinal race.
It's not too much drama. We all love each other.
Don't worry, I wasn't worried. I don't think anyone at home was either. I feel like y'all look like you have a good rapport.
Ready?
Nice starts from both of them. Ooh, bobble there. An opening for Darren.
Paused a little bit. I think he knew he was ahead there.
Darren
Quite
is
the
psyched.
celebration.
You know, Darren is definitely wanting to be in the booth at some point and commentate. And I told him, I said, well, you're making it hard for me because you keep being in the final. So you either need to be pre-selected or you could do worse in speed. So he's looking like he's trying to get into that realm of being pre-selected by trying to put up those fast times. So I'm hoping for the best for him.
Yeah, so Darren's quite the energy. He gave me some advice for this,
I'm sure he did. Please tell us.
He just, it wasn't that much like direct advice. He was just like, be yourself. It'll be fun.
We'll get Darren in the booth someday.
He commentated the collegiate nationals. I think that might be his. Maybe he'll do that again this year.
Awesome. On the left, we have Noah Bracci, and on the right, Aiden Goddard. I feel like this will be a pretty fun race to watch.
It'll be a good race. Yeah, Noah really keeping those consistent times, low sixes and high 5 times, but
at your mark.
One little mishap and then it's his.
That's where speed's so exciting. Anything can happen.
Ready?
Good clean starts for both of them. Noah taking an early lead, but Aiden really on his tail. Wow, 5.771 for Noah. Dropping those times with each run.
It's pretty close to Merritt's 5.70. We'll see who gets the fastest time at the end of the night.
Exciting, exciting.
It really does matter with the point system.
Totally, yeah. So what Sam is referencing, it's not just about making it through the bracket in your ranking. Those fastest times, there are some times that if they are faster, you get awarded more points than you would for the ranking. So, or they take precedent over the ranking in certain situations. But we're going to have all that stuff put together in the current standings over at the National Team Trials page, where we're adding in your results from nationals as well. So those overall standings to get into the top 5 and get on that national team.
Yeah, it's a little bit complicated, but I feel like USA Climbing has done a great job at trying to get the best people that have the best chance at the World Cups going to the right competitions.
And now we're at our last two athletes in this men's quarterfinal round. We have Zach Hammer on the left and Joshua Carbine on the right, looking to one of them getting into that semifinal.
Ready?
Clean start from both of them. Zach off to an early lead. Really great momentum. Wow, he's flying.
Just about the same as Merritt to the 1,000.
That was insane. I believe that's a new PR for Zach Hammer.
I think so too.
5.70 before it was 5.71. So, wow.
Good job, yeah. Always got a smile on his face. Really, you can tell he's enjoying it.
Sam, we were mentioning that speed sort of has by nature this anything can happen situations about it. It can be quite volatile. You do get knocked out as soon as you lose a head-to-head race. Mentally, how do you deal with that, with those situations in speed?
So for me personally, I've just pre-accepted the fact that that's going to happen. And sometimes you're going to have those slips, and sometimes you're going to be the one that beats the person that gets that slip. So, sorry, Megan.
No, you're totally good. We just got to talk about this bracket really quick. So we're moving into the women's semifinals. So that's a look at your bracket. It's going to be Sophia Curcio versus Kayla Cordwick and Callie Close versus Piper Kelly. These athletes trying to get into the small and big finals. So really important races for these women.
You can hear Al, our in-house MC, down there announcing these women as they walk onto their stage in front of the speed wall.
Trying to keep that energy up.
Looks like he's bringing out all of our male finalists as well. I think these are going to be some tight races, Sam. What do you think?
Yes, so definitely some very tight races. We've got possibly a rematch from Nationals of Noah and Merritt in the final. I know they had a good race at that event, and but Zach and Darren really keeping up with them. Everyone here really wants that spot for the team.
And that was a quick look at that bracket for the men for the semifinal. Merritt versus Darren first, and then Noah versus Zach. But we are going to get it kicked off with the women, and I think we're going to bring in another guest. So thank you, Sam, so much.
Thank you.
It was so great to have you. And when we come back, we'll have a new guest, but we're going to go back to a quick commercial.
All right.
Travel doesn't have to be this super exotic international thing. It can really be out of your own backyard. The high desert is so three-dimensional. It's so big that there is no way you could ever see everything here. The orange and brown and yellow, it's just so endless. Whether it's something I've done before or something brand new, there's so much to explore just right here.
So yeah, we've been testing out the new catch and hold system from the TruBlue IQ Plus. And with the IQ Plus, you know, you're just able to stop there, rest, shake out, try to figure out the moves, and yeah, really excited to have this new device in our gym. It's going to just really help us to continue growing the sport.
Since 1966, we have viewed walls not as obstacles, but as opportunities. From the big walls of Yosemite to the high peaks of the Himalaya, we were searching for a personal kind of freedom. In this pursuit, we found a community, strengthened by different stories, experiences, and perspectives. This community has shown us that the only way forward is together.
And welcome back to the speed finals. We have the women's semifinal coming up just in a second, and really big spot for the women to be in because they're trying to get into that big final and small final. We do have a new guest in the booth. Welcome, Emma Hunt.
Thanks for having me.
So happy you can make it. How are you? What are you thinking about the comp so far?
It's been very exciting.
Yeah. It has been, right?
Yeah, there's been some
some good fast times.
Yeah, my hands have been sweating like crazy. I forgot how much I hated watching this last time.
Well, now you can suffer like the rest of us.
Perfect.
Sophia Curcio getting ready, as is Kayla Cordwick. Both athletes trying to center themselves. And Emma, how important is it to kind of stick to your routine
At your
here?
mark.
It's so important. Even doing like a slight deviation from your normal routine can just throw you way off.
Ready?
Nice clean start from both of them. Really neck and neck right now. Sophia looks a smidge above Kayla right now. Looks like she's going to take it, punch her ticket to that big final. Great run for Sophia Curcio.
That was super good, super close to her PR.
Yeah, and that's always exciting, right? I mean, you're an athlete who's PR'd many times in competition. What does that feel like when you're close or when you do get that PR?
It's super exhilarating when you do hit your PR, and when you like almost hit it and it's not quite there, it's like that extra fuel to get you to do it like the next lap. And that's where we want it when she's heading into the big final.
Really exciting for Sophia. Yeah, it's been great to watch her over the last few years. She's been consistently working her way into either the big or small finals. So I think she was third at nationals. So getting into that big final, fighting for first and second, is huge for her. On the left, we have Callie Close. On the right, we have Piper Kelly. These two have raced together a lot, and obviously you've raced with Callie quite a bit.
Yeah, this will be a very exciting race.
Both seasoned competitors in Callie and Piper. Callie, your defending national champion, and Piper was second at nationals. So, you know, these two racing before the big or small final, kind of probably bittersweet for the two of them.
I think so, but at least they still get the chance to go in the small final.
Exactly.
Ready?
Really nice run from both of these women. Piper looks like she's a bit ahead of Callie here, and Piper is going to take it away with an 8.067, which I think would be a new PR for Piper.
Yeah, I think it is. New fastest time of the comp, too.
Yeah, which, again, Sam was mentioning is really important, that time in getting a fastest time, because it's not just about your placement, but also the times matter in this competition for team selection.
It seems like that factor is helping maybe some of the athletes push past some of those small slips to try to keep going and get to the top and get a good time, because the ranking is not the only factor that goes into team selection.
For sure.
Really, really good point. So now is your first look in the small final. Later, you'll have Kayla Cordwick versus Callie Close. And in the big final, Sophia Curcio versus Piper Kelly. And up next, we're going to go into that men's semifinal round. So after all that excitement from the women, now we get to see it from the men. Here's a look at that bracket again. It'll be Merritt Ernsberger versus Darren Skolnick and Noah Bracci versus Zach Hammer, all fighting to get into the small or big final.
Do these rounds always go this fast? It feels way slower when I'm doing it in person.
No, watching Speed, it's crazy. It's kind of funny, right? Because it is Speed, so it should be fast. But like literally, the Speed rounds fly by.
It's basically speed endurance out here.
So true. But you guys are used to it.
Yeah, we're just getting ready for the World Cups as a team.
Exactly. Another look at Darren Skolnick on the right and Merritt Ernsberger on the left. Both athletes getting ready for their attempts at the
mark.
speed route. Who's going to be the fastest?
I like Darren's little last minute read.
Ready?
Nice clean start from both of them. Merritt really exploding through the middle section. A little bobble there on the right. And Merritt! Oh my gosh. Wow. 5.645. Amazing.
Sam was saying earlier that it's Merritt's goal to get faster and faster and be able to be in contention with racing Sam and John Brosler, who currently holds the U.S. record, and it looks like from that time he's inching his way towards those boys.
He is, and I think that's a new personal best for Merritt. So he is definitely in the right place, and Darren with a pretty good recovery just wasn't able to get back up there enough, but that'll put him in the small final, so he'll have another race as well.
It's exciting to see how fast these men are getting.
They're so fast.
At times they're just getting closer and closer to each other.
So you see that Darren Skolnick is moving into the small final, and Merritt Ernsberger will be going into the big final. But the question is, who is he going to race? Will it be Noah Bracci or Zach Hammer? Noah Bracci has been in that big final a lot. I don't think Zach Hammer has. So it'll be really exciting to see who it's going to be. Both men just taking a few seconds to breathe and center themselves before approaching the wall. Zach looking extremely giddy for this opportunity to get into the big or small final. Love seeing that, as the veteran Noah Bracci is all business on the left.
Very big difference, the seriousness versus the always smiling.
Ready?
Good pin start for Noah. Big slip for Zach. Unfortunately, Noah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
So what happens now, Emma?
Okay, so I don't see this a lot, but I think it goes to the highest seeding person, which would be Noah.
Okay.
So I think
yeah. We're being told that they're going to have to rerun it, which is actually more exciting than what you just said. That means they both get a chance. I honestly, in all the years I've been doing this, I have never seen this in a knockout round with this actually happening, especially in this part of the round, right? Early slip for Zach, and then a very surprising slip at the top for Noah, just undershooting it. He had a little bobble in the middle where he recovered, so these men are going to reset and they're going to run again, and we're going to hold our breath.
Oh my gosh, right away? They're running again right away?
It doesn't seem, well, I guess
speed endurance.
I guess they did both go through it together.
It's true, it's fair.
Yeah, it almost looked like in the last lap, Noah saw Zach slip, so he just slowed down and lost it.
Big slip again. Oh man, but this time it looks, oh wow, Zach coming back. Oh my gosh, what are they doing? And Noah's gonna take it away. Wow, so exciting.
Oh my gosh.
Great mental fortitude and great show from both athletes. Wow. I was like, there's no way we're gonna get a repeat of that. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, speed is generally a very exciting discipline to watch, and everyone's delivering today.
They're just making it more exciting for us. They're also testing my knowledge of the rules, and I'm kind of sad I didn't know the answer.
I mean, technically we should know it too, so you're not alone. We're all in this together.
We all really struck out on that one, our knowledge of the rule book.
Honestly, it was better, right? It's more exciting to hear that they get to rerun.
I like how on that last lap, Noah went 2 hands to the buzzer.
Yeah,
like,
he's
really
like,
just gotta make sure we hit this one.
Great race. So we're going to take a quick look at that bracket. So in the small final for the men, it's going to be Darren Skolnick versus Zach Hammer. And then in the big final, you'll have Merritt Ernsberger versus Noah Bracci. And for the women, we're going to have Sophia Curcio versus Piper Kelly in the big final, and Kaylor Cordwick versus Callie Close in the small final. And we are going to go to a quick commercial, and we will be back for some more really exciting speed runs.
Whether you're alpine climbing or cragging after work, Gnarly Nutrition is here to help you push your possible.
Welcome back to the Speed Finals at the 2023 USA Climbing National Team Trials. There's already been a lot of excitement tonight, and we are getting ready for the small final for the women. Kayla Cordwick versus Callie Close. Callie Close, her defending national champion in speed. Both women looking for a spot onto that national team to compete in the World Cups later this year. Kayla Cordwick on the right, getting her start ready.
It's exciting to see Kayla in the small final.
Yeah, I think this is her first time in the small final, so it's a really exciting spot to be. I'm sure you remember your first small final, although I think
I was
no,
terrified.
you didn't. Was it? I mean, in youth probably, because I think your first elite you won speed, so you went straight to the big final.
My first Youth Worlds, I was in the small final, and we both slipped on it, and she just happened to fall off and stayed on.
Kayla Cordwick on the left. Good start from both of them. Callie Close on the right. Looks like she's going to take it, earning that third place spot in this competition. Kayla will end up in fourth. Great runs from both women. Callie looking really pleased with her run. They were kind of neck and neck at the beginning, and then Callie pulled away, and then Kayla caught up in the middle, and then Callie's face at the end of that. She's like, that was great.
I like to see their different betas on the top section. Callie goes left foot all the way up, and Kayla went right foot all the way up. So they hit the buzzer with different hands, and they're two totally different heights.
I was going to say, there's a huge disparity in the heights there, so that's always really interesting. And I mean, that attributes to the beta people choose, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
How do you know when it's time to change your beta?
Ooh, good question.
For me, my coach tells me, but I don't know. Maybe you get a little bored, or I don't know.
You need to switch it up a little bit?
Yeah. If you maybe hit a stall for too long and you haven't PR'd in a while, looking at a different beta.
Do you ever test other betas out and just think, no way?
I love just trying different betas. Like, at the end of the season, I'll just go try random betas just to see what they're like and how hard they are. And much props to everyone doing, like, the Watson way or the new versions of it, because it's so freaking hard.
Exactly. And another look at that bracket, the small final coming out now, Darren Skolnick and Zach Hammer. So these men are fighting for a spot on the national team, and the points here, the rank here really matters. Unlike in the Boulder and Lead, it's really about the rank still, so the rank equates some points to them, so they're trying to get on the team. So third and fourth place, it does matter, and that's what they're fighting for. Last minute affirmations, I hope.
I hope so.
I feel like you sort of have that vibe before you speed race with the little smiley action going on.
I definitely tried to.
Ready?
Clean start for both men. Zach looking to make up for those slips from that other run, and it looks like he's going to do it. Great run from Zach Hammer and great run from Darren Skolnick. Both men absolutely clean all the way through. Zach going to walk away with that third place, and Darren with the fourth place. Possibly a new PR for Zach.
Amazing times.
5.631.
Awesome.
Both sub-6. I mean, remember when not many people win sub-6? To have two athletes go sub-6, we've seen sub-6 a lot in this competition, but especially when you get into these final rounds, like to be able to put up those fast times is really impressive.
I'm glad Zach was able to do a clean start on that one.
Yeah.
I heard some of the athletes, there's a debate going on if the right lane is a little bit slippier than the left lane, and that can definitely get in your head.
Totally, and I do think that is a new PR for Zach, 5.631. His PR was 5.70, so exciting day for him. Podium and a personal best.
Great way to end his comp.
Up next, we have that big final for the women. Sophia Curcio on the left and Piper Kelly on the right.
Emma, what are the nerves like right now for these two athletes?
think this one is special because they both PR'd this comp so far.
Yep.
So they're both looking to
At your mark.
best each other, but not go over the threshold of going too fast.
Probably a fine line.
Ready?
Clean start from both of them, different betas, kind of neck and neck right now. Oh, big slip for Sophia. Doesn't look like she can hang on, and Piper Kelly is going to be the one to walk away in that #1 spot. I don't think she's won a national competition in a while, and possibly not ever in an elite series. I think she's definitely been youth national champion in speed before, but I don't think, I mean, this is team trials, so you're not national champion, you're team trials champion, but I think still a very important competition and a coveted title.
For sure. And fastest time of the comp, that's what you want to do on the last lap.
Yeah, 7:8.4. That's a new PR for her as well. I don't think she's done sub-8 in a competition before, actually.
Always exciting when moments like that can happen in the big final, too.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Piper must feel amazing. And really great run for Sophia. She had that bobble, but what are you going to do? At least she's still on the podium in second place. If you're going to have a slip like that, you do want it in that big final race, right?
Yeah, and you can tell she was going all out on that last lap. And sometimes you just can't control all the power. Too much speed.
Exactly. Too much speed. Merritt Ernsberger setting up his platform on the left, and Noah Bracci will be on your right.
Can you believe we're already on the last race?
Yeah, because speed just always flies by. You just never know. It just, or actually, you know, it's just going to fly by. I think the first time I called speed, I was like, wow, that was really fast. Also, starting with just the 8 women, I think makes it a little faster. When we have 16, it does. 16 and 16, it does slow down a bit. Just a little bit, though.
I don't know. It still feels way faster than when I'm competing in it.
That makes sense. Time moves slower when you're waiting.
Ready?
Good starts for both of them. Neck and neck. Ooh. And Merritt's going to take it. He won team trials in 2021, but he hasn't been in that #1 spot in a while, so big win here for Merritt Ernsberger. Great race from both.
Merritt's been really consistent in this final. That's a very similar time that he's gotten in all his other races, and it's really cool to see him pull that out and have those consistent fast times.
Yeah, that's what you really need to be in these comps, is consistent. Oh my gosh, those times are so close.
That was super exciting. I'm going to run down to get an interview with the winners, so you two stay up here, keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be back in a little bit. Oh, I'll be back in a little bit.
So, Emma, what's going to be the first World Cup for you this season?
Should be Seoul. Yeah.
And have you been to Korea before? Did you go this last year?
I have. I went last year, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love South Korea. I love the venue. They have a bunch of like wild, like feral cats around, and it's just really fun.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really great event, and I think we have now selected some pretty great athletes to be joining you guys on the circuit on that first World Cup event. See Merritt here. Knee padding. Looks like there's maybe some bloody inside of the knee pads.
There always is. I unfortunately had to join the knee pad crew.
Unfortunately, I feel like it looks fast. It's like maybe aerodynamic, or it's definitely fashionable.
I think it depends on the knee pad you have. Mine is all chunky, and
I think you maybe should get some pink ones. Like Zach has those pink ones.
I don't want to steal Zach's look. Like when you think of like pink knee pads, like think Zach Hammer.
All right. Well, if anybody has any fashion ideas for Emma's knee pads moving into the next World Cup season,
please help.
Maybe hit her up on Instagram or something. Send her a message. Let her know what color she should start repping.
I see Noah's wearing red, so pink and red. Maybe we should just get the U.S. team to do like rainbow, like everyone has a different color.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Or red, white, blue, somewhere in there.
Well, Emma, what do you think of this event? We had some pretty fast times. You got to race on that wall yesterday. How did it feel for you in your round?
It was very exciting. Nice to get the kind of comp vibe going again. It's been a while. I liked the wall. It's brand new, so it definitely needed to be a little kind of broken in. And I think qualifiers did just that, and that's why we saw some super fast times in finals.
And what's the feeling for you? Obviously, in this event, you were mostly just maybe gunning for a PR in your qualifying round, knowing that you couldn't advance to this bracket final just because we didn't want to throw off the bracket with somebody who was already pre-qualified for the World Cups. What's the mentality for you going into a round like that?
It definitely went back and forth a couple times between wanting to PR, but then trying to keep it cool and just run my clean lap. So it was a good practice.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, Emma. We've really appreciated having you in the booth, especially for Megan and I, who have a little bit less competition experience in speed climbing. Thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we're going to go down to Megan on the floor with our winner. Both of them.
Piper, Merritt, congratulations on becoming the Speed National Team Trials champions. Piper, your first time in a sub-8 time in a competition. How does it feel to break that barrier? And also your first elite national competition that you're winning. How does that all feel for you?
It feels so good. One of my goals for the season was to go sub-8, and all my competitions, actually, I've done it in training, so saved till the last lap of this one, but really excited to get it done. And it feels like it's the first really good competition I've had in a while, so it just feels really good that it all came together.
I'm so excited to watch you do that. And Merritt, you held this title in 2021. How does it feel to be back in it? And also, we had Sam in the booth, and he was saying that your goal was to have these 5 times that were closer to his and John's, and you really did that today.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, it feels really good, and honestly, I wasn't too sure what to expect, and yesterday wasn't like the best day ever, and then the practice that we had right before was also a little scary, so being able to keep running faster and faster in the finals felt really nice, and I'm just really excited that I pulled it together again.
Well, it was so exciting to watch both of you. That was such a fun and exciting final, and I can't wait to see both of you on the World Cup circuit, and congratulations again. It was so amazing.
Thank you.
All right, it was really great to hear from our winners there. If you stick around, we will be announcing the winners of this event and the national team, so stay tuned for that. But we will leave you with our in-house MC, Al. Please join us again later this evening for the combined finals, starting with the men's boulder round, followed by the men's lead round. Head to the USA Climbing YouTube page and look for that link. We can't wait to see you back here a little bit later tonight.
You have to fail multiple times to find the right way. But once you find that right flow, and you're gonna be more successful.
Resilience is kind of understanding that bad things will happen and that you can turn those into opportunities to grow and become a stronger person.
When I was young, I was one of the only women in climbing. I was the kid at the gym climbing with all the older dudes. I think for me, it was sort of like a proving ground.
I've had those struggles too, that people have been upset that there's been a black person in their gym. And I'm resilient because I don't let it stop me.
Adversity teaches you to fail properly. And if you're not willing to accept failure, then you're never gonna learn to grow.
Bro, whatever you can throw at me, you're not gonna take me away from what I wanna do. You can't stop me.
You have to fail multiple times to find the right way. But once you find that right flow, and you're gonna be more successful.
Resilience is kind of understanding that like bad things will happen and that like you can turn those into opportunities to grow and become a stronger person.
When I was young, I was one of the only women in climbing. I was the kid at the gym climbing with all the older dudes. I think for me it was sort of like a proving ground.
I've had those struggles too, that people have been upset that there's been a black person in their gym. And I'm resilient because I don't let it stop me.
Adversity teaches you to fail properly. And if you're not willing to accept failure, then you're never gonna learn to grow.
Bro, whatever you can throw at me, like, you're not gonna take me away from what I wanna do. You can't stop me.
Whether you're alpine climbing or cragging after work, Gnarly Nutrition is here to help you push your possible.
Travel doesn't have to be this super exotic international thing. It can really be out of your own backyard. The high desert is so three-dimensional and it's so big that there is no way you could ever see everything here. The orange and brown and yellow, it's just so endless. Whether it's something I've done before or something brand new, there's so much to explore just right here.
So yeah, we've been testing out the new catch and hold system from the TruBlue IQ Plus. And with the IQ Plus, you know, you're just able to stop there, rest, shake out, try to figure out the moves, and yeah, really excited to have this new device in our gym. It's going to just really help us to continue growing the sport.
That'd be wonderful, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the awards ceremony for the 2023 National Team Trials presented by YETI at Mesa Rim Climbing Center in Austin, Texas. At this time, we would like to once again thank our amazing partners. Our founding partner, the North Face, YETI, Prudential, EP Climbing Walls, PETZL, Gnarly Nutrition, TruBlue Autobelays, and Grasshopper Climbing. It is true that without their support, we would not be able to do these incredible events. Awards will be presented by Mark Norman, CEO of USA Climbing, and John Kelly, National Speed Coordinator. Now please welcome the men's speed medalists. In third place, taking the bronze medal, Zach Hammer. In second place, taking the silver medal, Noah Bracci. And in first place, taking the gold medal and winning the speed discipline, Merritt Ernsberger. Go ahead, pile in for your group photo now. And then stay put, gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Because you are also three of our newest members of our U.S. national team. In addition to Darren Skolnick and Quinn O'Francia. Bring them out. Also, our two pre-selected athletes not present. We got one of them. Sam Watson is here. We're missing John Brosler. Either way, here's your national team. You can do it. Y'all do much crazier things than this. Very nice. And now, please welcome the women's speed medalists. In third place, taking the bronze medal, Kelly Close. In second place, taking the silver medal, Sofia Curcio. And in first place, taking the gold medal and winning the speed discipline, Piper Kelly. Now pile in for that group photo. Stay put as you again are three of the newest members of our national team, as well as Liberty Runnels, Sydney Williams, and our pre-selected athlete, Emma Hunt. All right, ladies. Wonderful job. Thank you all so much. It's been a great round. Y'all know how to do it. I believe we got about 30, 45 minutes. We're jumping back in, bouldering final. One more thing. We've got a national team meeting off to the side in the wings there. Just head to the window.